Today I decided to craft the mono wheel on Grand RP, and this was probably one of the worst decisions I've ever made. It requires 30 high-quality metal with each one costing 200,000. That's 6 million just for the materials. And guess what? The craft failed. 6 million gone. After losing 6 million on that failed mono wheel craft, I decided to try my luck with some roulettes. Each spin cost 7 grand coins, so I had to be a little careful with how many I opened. But after losing so much already, I was hoping these roulettes could somehow turn things around. So I started opening them, hoping to see something that was actually worth the grand coins. And honestly, I wasn't looking for anything crazy. Even one decent reward would have been enough to make me feel a little better about everything I'd already lost. But as I kept opening them, the luck just wasn't really going my way. I kept hoping that the next reward would finally be something big, something valuable, something that could actually make all these grand coins worth spending. But instead, I was slowly watching my grand coins disappear, and the more I opened, the more I started thinking, maybe I should have just stopped after the mono wheel failed. But obviously, once you start opening these things, you always want to see what comes next. So I kept going, hoping that somewhere in these roulettes there would be one reward that would completely change my luck. Because after everything I'd already lost, I really needed something good. After the roulettes, I decided to take an even bigger risk. I had 40 heritage cases to open. So I started opening them and just hoped that somewhere in these 40 cases I would get lucky. I wasn't expecting to get something amazing every time. I just wanted at least one good car. But as the cases kept opening, things weren't looking very promising. I kept hoping the next one would be different. And eventually I made it through all 40 heritage cases. That meant it was time for the guaranteed reward. After spending all those grand coins, I was actually expecting something decent. Surely the guaranteed reward had to make all of this worth it, right? Well, I ended up getting one absolutely shit car. So after opening 40 heritage cases and spending 400 grand coins, that was my reward. Honestly, at this point, I don't even know what Grand RP wants from me. After all of that, I still had 126 grand tickets sitting in my inventory, and at this point, I thought maybe these tickets could finally give me something good. So I decided to open 46 of them. I wasn't going to open all 126 because after everything that had already happened, I didn't want to completely destroy my inventory, but I still had high hopes for these 46. So I started opening them, and honestly, I was hoping for at least one really good reward, something valuable, maybe a good car, maybe something that could actually make up for some of the money I'd already lost. But as I kept opening the tickets, things weren't looking very promising. There were some rewards that looked interesting, but nothing that really made me think I'd finally hit something big. Still, I had plenty of tickets left, so I kept going. At this point, I was basically relying on luck, because after losing around 40 million, I really needed something to go my way. I kept opening more and more tickets, hoping that eventually the game would decide to be generous, but unfortunately, the luck just wasn't there, and that's the problem with these things. You see all the possible rewards and you start thinking about what you could potentially get. Then you open one, and another, and suddenly you've gone through a huge number of tickets without getting anything that really matters. I kept telling myself that the next one could be different. Maybe the next ticket would finally give me something good. So I continued, more tickets opened. And I was still waiting for that one reward that would make me say, okay, that was worth it. But it just wasn't happening. And the more tickets I opened, the more ridiculous this whole situation started to feel. I had already failed the mono wheel craft. I had already spent grand coins on roulettes. Then I opened 40 heritage cases and ended up with a terrible car. And now I was going through 46 grand tickets hoping that something would finally save this opening session. At this point, I wasn't even expecting some insane jackpot. I just wanted one reward that I could actually be happy about, something that would make all of this feel a little less painful. But unfortunately, the tickets weren't really giving me what I wanted, so I just kept going and watching the rewards come in. And eventually I reached the final few tickets. By this point, I had already opened so many that I was just hoping for a last-minute surprise, because sometimes the final ticket can completely change everything. So I opened the remaining ones, still hoping, still waiting, still thinking that maybe, just maybe, the next reward would finally be the one. And then I finished opening 46 grand tickets. Out of the original 126, I had used 46, and after all of that, I didn't really get anything good. Honestly, this entire session has been one massive loss. I started with the mono wheel, then the roulettes, then the heritage cases, and now the grand tickets. I've spent a ridiculous amount of money in grand coins, and somehow I'm still sitting here wondering where all my luck went, because there's no way I can keep losing like this. But I still have 80 grand tickets left. So maybe there is still hope. Maybe in the next video I will open them. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate all the support. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more Grand RP content. And if you want to play Grand RP with me, you can download the game using the link in the description. I'm playing on English Server 1, so make sure to join me there. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.